Also, the Commodore PET and the C64, they had their own proprietary standard. It was not compatible with ASCII, so if you were to call into a Commodore PET BBS, it wouldn't display properly. You would basically see gibberish and vice versa, unless they were emulating that character, the correct character set. But by default, if you were to call out, you wouldn't see the correct characters. They had a shifted set that you can see here, so you could actually choose two different character sets built into the system.
Did you get to choose your emulation when you logged in?
I don't know. I didn't have a Commodore 64, but I know that eventually, like the Mac even emulated ANSI eventually, so I'm sure that they did. This is an example of a PET ski. That's what they called their Commodore 64 ART. This is the Amiga character set. It's slightly different than the IBM PC character set, but it's using the ASCII. First 128 characters here are based on ASCII, so these could all communicate the same way. They're talking the same language. So really the only difference here is the characters look a little different as far as the way the C and the D are rendered, but the extended characters down below are very different. So in an ANSI, if it was using these block characters here or these shaded characters here, they wouldn't appear to be correct from the Amiga by default. Today we're using Unicode. You can see it has a lot more options as far as characters go to select from. People are utilizing Unicode. There's a huge scene in Japan on Nichanuru 2-channel BBS that does really amazing work with the katakana and hiragana scripts. It's really amazing stuff. Text demos can, the demos that are created on the computers, they can actually modify the character sets as well. So you have, kind of an unlimited number of options. That got ahead of me there. Okay. Well, that displayed then on here, but basically this is an example of ANSI art. This was created in 1980, or actually 1990, by myself and a friend named Grim. This is a Louder Than Bombs ANSI for a BBS in Southern California. Aces of ANSI Art is the first documented team of text mode artists to exist as far as it goes. A year later, several of those members, including myself, split off to form ACID, or ANSI Creators in Demand. And soon after, very soon after, came ICE and many other groups. Amiga ASCII artists also formed into groups in '92. Groups such as ART and Upper Class and 100 Swallowed. This is a really great ANSI. This is one of the first long scrollers. This is many, many lines long. This right here is the 80 by 25 window that you'd see. So you'd see this much, and then it would scroll down very slowly at 2400 baud. This is another ANSI animation for The Bog by Tracer and Jed. Well, let's try that again. I agree. Yeah, let's try 9600. It's not outputting. Lovely. All right, my computer's not liking me. Okay. Yeah, it's super pissed. Okay. No. Might have to restart. It's not inspiring me right now.
You just have a video.
Yeah, I have actually a couple videos and it's not displaying them. Okay. Yeah, PowerPoint and video, always problems. Yeah. Thank you. All right, I'm going to restart. Can reboot faster than this. But anyways, I guess while this is rebooting, are there any questions? I was about 14 when I first started acid. And actually, that's the typical age, right, for most people when they start BBSing, I thought. Or at least the people that I was interacting with, that was a pretty common age for when they started to get involved with BBSing.
What were some of your influences at the time? What got you started in it? One of the originators, or at least as far as
One of the inspirations for me was an artist called Ebony Eyes, who is documented in Jason Scott's BBS documentary. She was one of the early, really great, talented ANSI artists. Also, the people in Aces of ANSI Art.
just things like New York City subway art and stuff come to mind.
Maybe not directly, but you know, I definitely am a fan of that style of artwork, and you start to see a lot of that urban style of artwork reflected in ANSI, especially as the styles develop over time. They become more and more complex. So there is a lot of kind of graffiti style ANSI art out there.
Also, the process of drawing long scroller, where you can only
It's kind of like a subway. Yeah.
kind of like painting a subway car on its side, because you can only see a certain section of it while you're drawing it. You have to step back. Yeah.
Especially there's a limitation of 16 colors. So there's really kind of really primary colors that you have to work with within ANSI art.
You ever make your own font?
What do you mean by font? Which type of font?
Like you make your own character set.
I've modified the DOS character sets, yeah, for like custom DOS utilities and such. View, one of the earlier versions of Acid View, modified the character set as well. All right, so we're just going to, unfortunately, have to skip through that video.
Is there any kind of compression over VBS or straight text?
Yeah, a lot of modems supported hardware compression, like MNP. So if the two modems both had the same type of compression supported, it would actually display it slightly faster. You'd get some speed or some time savings there. All right, let's see if it'll, just let me move past it. Okay, I'm going to skip that and go on to this. This is just a still screenshot from an ANSI animation that was very long by Amroth. It was actually a coded PC animation, which is kind of a term that was coined for ANSI animations. I highly recommend downloading this. You can go to like artscene.textfiles.com or pick up the Dark Domain DVD and check this out. It's pretty amazing. This right here is called a collection of Amiga ASCII art. This is how Amiga ASCII artists started to distribute their work. They called it a Kali, so this is just a short excerpt of the top of that collection. And so basically they would have a logo or a picture or a face of some sort created with the Amiga character set, and then have a break line, the credits, the name of it, and carry on like that. And these would go on for hundreds of lines. Eventually, we started to see these really complex text mode demos. This is an earlier screenshot of one. This is a literal screenshot. You can see how the thing kind of bows right here. So this is a true screenshot. This one I want to show later because I don't trust PowerPoint. This is the Starport text mode BBS Tro. So they're advertising their BBS. This file originally was very small, it's maybe a couple kilobytes at most. And this does modify the character set at the very bottom. It modifies the character set for a scrolling effect that changes when it goes from right to left. And this also modifies the character set. This probably is one of the most complex text mode demos, in my opinion, as far as taking advantage of the IBM PC text mode. It actually does vectors, 3D vectors in text mode. The text mode demo concept is confined to the PC realm, but you also do see them. This is an Amiga ASCII demo, so they do exist on the Amiga. This is in a world of ASCII. It's a screenshot from that. Has a little rotating three-dimensional cube, and then the Amiga-style ASCII art face in the foreground, while that rotates in the background. There's not really any animation per se on the Commodore 64, but there are kind of art packs with music in the background. So they'll show different Petsky CG art and then have the music play. There's a lot of different art communities. As I mentioned before, there's Channel 2 or Nichanaru, which is the Japanese ASCII scene. There's the standard US ASCII, pure hardcore ASCII, where they only use the 7-bit ASCII, none of the extended characters on alt ASCII art news groups. There's Amiga and PC scenes that kind of identify their own unique character sets. And so this is, let me go right back here. I mentioned that the Amiga and the PC ASCII scenes kind of have their own styles. So this is a PC style. And so for shading, they use a lot of the dollar signs, percentage signs here. The IBM PC line, the logo, says Hacienda right there in the lower right corner. And then this is the Amiga style. And this is, this is one of my favorite pieces. This is a very much a graffiti piece. It says The Yard. I don't know if any of you can make that out. It'll take a while to look at it. Once it comes to you, you're like, this is pretty amazing. But you know, that's a T-H-E, Yard. And they kind of tend to kind of start with one character and then modify it and make each one look kind of similar but different. It's a really popular style. So this is a colorized Amiga ASCII. Let's see if this works. It's not as bad. This is a scrolling ANSI, and so the colors are way off. The palette's really screwed up. But that's kind of how a BBS would display an ANSI in an 25 window. Before I go on and show some of the ASCII demos, just want to take another break, see if there's any questions. Nothing? What's up? Okay, what's up?
What's like the time frame, or how long does it take to make like an animation? Like how long do you, if you're going to sit down and make one, how long do you expect to work on it?
I would imagine it just really depends. The ANSI animations that you saw earlier, well, I'll have to show you another one, but Hotter Than Bombs one was pretty simplistic. The one that was crashing was for the bog, and that was literally drawn frame by frame in ANSI, and it takes a long time just to draw an ANSI, a single frame. And so these were, each frame is drawn, or each portion of the frame that's modified is drawn by hand. Whereas with the demos that I'm about to show you, they're constructed in the similar fashion as a regular demo and then rendered out to ASCII using ASCII character sets.
What do you think